And we go over to the end, my own words hotline, where we pick up the man, the myth, the legend, the family affair, Justin Smith in the building, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for TDA. Justin, as always, man, happy to have you on the show, man. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing well, Steven.
Awesome to have you here on the show, Justin. Well, first and foremost, Alabama got a huge 2022 commitment from four-star linebacker Robert Woodyard. Talk to us about this young man. How big was this? What does Woodyard bring? What does his commitment entail? What is Alabama getting with the four-star in Robert Woodyard?
Well, I think this is a great pickup for the Tide's 2022 recruiting class, becoming their second commit in that class, with him joining a fellow in-state commit in Jeremiah Alexander, the product of Thompson High School in Thompson, Alabama. So this is a great pickup for the Tide, a big linebacker with some speed and some athleticism, a guy who actually plays football and basketball at the high school level, and he was a pretty effective basketball player. He's an athlete on the football field. During his sophomore season, he actually lined up at running back for Williamson High School in Mobile. So this is a very versatile athlete that the Tide is getting in the 2022 recruiting class, a guy who could possibly be the top player in the nation in the 2022 recruiting class. Alabama is off to a good start when it comes to the 2022 recruiting cycle, already having two guys committed, especially with those guys being in-state recruits.
Now, Justin, another piece of big news that came out was four-star running back Armani Goodwin for 2021 out of Hewitt-Trussville High School. He got an offer from the Crimson Tide. He was waiting on this offer for a minute now. Now, Goodwin verbally committed to the Auburn Tigers, but in getting this offer from Alabama, does it sway his decision? Could this move him to possibly flip from Auburn to the Crimson Tide, or is Goodwin still sold on his verbal commitment to the Tigers?
Well, if I had to guess today, I don't see him flipping his commitment to the Tide. I think he's solid with Auburn. He has been committed to that for quite some time now. I think he's pretty solid with the Tigers. Of course, you cannot count Nick Saban out when it comes to him recruiting guys.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but at the moment, I would guess the Tigers will keep his commitment just based off how long he has been committed there, the relationship he has with their coaching staff, and not saying that he doesn't have a relationship with the Tides coaching staff. They have been in contact with them throughout his career at Hewitt-Trussville High School, but they did take this long to offer him, and I think that's something that a recruiter is going to look at. They have an offer from Auburn. He's been committed to the Tigers. I don't see Alabama flipping his commitment, but you have to just keep your eyes on it.
Folks, if you're just now tuning into the show on a Friday, we got the lead scouting and recruiting analyst, the boots on the ground, the man when it comes down to scouting out these young athletes, Justin Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, talking some 2021 recruiting and beyond. And Justin, a guy that Alabama fans very excited about, Christian Leary, the four-star receiver out of Orlando, Florida, who's a part of this 2021 class, gave his commitment to the Tide, an absolute burner at 5'9", 190 pounds. He's got that Jalen Waddle meets Henry Ruggs, the third type of speed. But he also tweeted out he is going to enroll early for the 2021 class. In January, he's going to be an early enrollee for the Tide. How big is this? Not only Leary committing to Alabama, but also making that decision to say, I'm coming early.
I think this is huge. I think this shows how firm Christian Leary's commitment is to the Tide. In my mind, I think his commitment is pretty firm. When I got a chance to talk with him off the record, he did talk a lot about him really fitting in at Alabama. That's one of the reasons he wanted to commit to the Tide. He really likes to fit. He thinks his speed really fits into what the Tide does with their wide receivers. So I think he's firmly committed. I think this shows that he really wants to come to Tuscaloosa in the future. But I think this is big for him personally, getting a chance to enroll in January, start classes in January, of course, then go through spring practice and learn the Tides playbook and learn to be around the Tides quarterback room. And I think that's going to be great for him, building a connection with the rest of the Tides coaching staff and their roster early. I think it's unclear at the moment how the Tide's wide receiver group will look once he enrolls, when you're looking at some of the guys that are currently on the Tide's roster, and you look at the way some of these guys may play in the upcoming season, and how and the opportunities and the chances of him possibly playing early will become more evident in the future. But I think this is big for him personally at this moment. I think it just shows how firmly he is committed to the Tide.
Well, one thing for certain here, Justin, is wide receivers coach Holman Wiggins. He's got a lot of talent in the chamber, and he has to be tickled pink to get the opportunity to, work with that talent. But, Justin, there was actually a tweet that came out from Kane Williams, another, Crimson Tide commitment, or Crimson Tide commitment. What did that tweet from Kane Williams, what could that possibly entail?
Well, I think it previews a huge week for the Tide. As I said on the process on Thursday's episode, I'm predicting a huge week for the Tide on the recruiting trail, specifically in the 2021 recruiting class. I have received some information that the Tide will get some good news this upcoming week on the recruiting trail, especially in the 2021 recruiting class. For more on those specifics, everyone can subscribe to touchdownalabama.com. I wrote several articles hinting at what I'm talking about and broke it down in detail. So the Tide is definitely getting some good news on the recruiting trail next week. I think Tide fans should definitely be on the lookout. I think it can be a huge week with possibly multiple commits for the Tide in the 2021 recruiting class. So I think Kane Williams was hitting that Monday being possibly a huge day for the Tide, and I think that it could lead to a huge week for the Tide on the recruiting trail, specifically in the 2021 recruiting class.
After starting off with just one verbal commitment, Deontay Alston, Alabama has truly shot up here on this 2021 recruiting cycle. We got Justin Smith here on the line, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama Magazine. If you are just tuning in, Justin, on last week, you were in Jacksonville, Florida for the Under Armour underclassmen camp. I know this weekend you are headed to Georgia. As we've stated, folks, Justin Smith, the man on the ground. He's traveling everywhere, scouting these young athletes. So you're going to be on the road to Georgia. Where are you headed to this weekend, Justin? Which camp are you headed to? And what will entail for this camp?
Well, it's the same camp as I attended in Florida. In terms of the layout, in terms of the camp name, the Under Armour Elite Underclassmen Camp, a camp that Under Armour along with ESPN 300 and the Underclassmen Report is putting on, a camp where athletes get a chance to get measured in different type of drills, specifically combine-like drills, and that tape and those measurements will get sent out to 63 of the 65 Power 5 college programs. So a lot of these guys who come out and compete in this camp will possibly get an opportunity to play Division I football once college coaches get a chance to evaluate their film and different things. But I'm going to the Georgia one. Atlanta is always a great area to evaluate some talent. I'm expecting some good guys to be there, especially guys who already hold offers from the University of Alabama. We got a chance to catch up with a couple of those guys in Florida, but I think this is going to be a bigger camp in terms of guys who have offers from Alabama and guys who could possibly have offers in the near future, with guys from the state of Alabama being at the camp and also guys from the state of Georgia, which are two states that Alabama recruits pretty hard.
Well, folks, if you want to know the best on the recruiting trail for Alabama football, you got to get up with Justin Smith on his show, The Process, which comes out every Tuesday and Thursday on the YouTube channel, The Process, as Justin breaks down all of these recruits, scouts them out from A to Z, provides the star ratings, the diamond grade ratings. He is doing his thing, and he's always graciously joining us live here every Friday on the show to touch up the recruiting trail for the Crimson Tide. Justin, be safe on the road. Have safe travels to Georgia, man. Be good.
You do the same, Steven.
Always fun getting a chance to chat it up with Justin and breaking down Alabama recruiting. But we take another break here on the show. But, folks, we're coming back. Don't touch that dial, because you're going to get a chance to talk more Bama football with your man. Bring your phone calls, your thoughts, your questions, your chats, your opinions. Let's have a dialogue after this.
T-Town Menswear in the University Mall in Tuscaloosa. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.